Hey, welcome to the Master Tech Lou channel. I am Lou, and today I'm going to be replacing my PSE pump in my 2004 Mercedes-Benz S600. If you see my previous video, I had bought this thing over a year ago from a fellow YouTuber or a YouTube subscriber, watcher, something like that. He offered me the car for $2,000, and me and my buddy Ralph drove out to Iowa, picked it up from the guy, and I've been slowly working on it ever since. If you ever heard the term, the shoemaker's kids go shoeless, it's because I have time for everybody else's stuff but my own. So this thing is kind of a headache, this whole car. There's some things on it that I don't want to deal with that I'm gonna have to deal with. Whenever you hear the words Mercedes is a good deal, run. No such thing. No such thing as a good deal on a Mercedes. So my PSE pump failed. The PSE pump stands for pneumatic systems equipment. It's basically the air pressure or vacuum that works the locks, the glove box lock, the fuel door lock, the trunk lid unlocking, and the soft close for all the doors, and also the seat lumbar and the seat massage if you have that option. So that controls everything. So what I did was diagnosed it in my lock and unlock video. I'll add links here to both videos for when I first bought the car and then the lock unlock one. But now I'm to the point where I'm actually going to fix it. Now, if you notice the atmosphere, and you do follow my channel or not, but I am back at the dealership. There's only one dealership in our small town of Peoria, Illinois, and there's not a lot of experienced Mercedes techs around here. So I'm back at the dealership to help with the customers and help the technicians and train them and teach them and learn myself, because I have been out of the dealership for quite some time. But even with my employee price on a PSE pump, it's pretty expensive. So what I did was I'm going to take a gamble. And I went on eBay, and I had bought one for under $200. So I got it right here. And as soon as I took it out of the box, that doesn't give me good, warm, fuzzy feelings. On top of that, there's melt marks. Melted there, and it's melted there. The pump is right here underneath there. So that indicates to me that the pump may be bad, because it overheats and it causes warping of the plastic. So I had taken photos and sent it immediately to the seller as soon as I unboxed it and told them that I'm going to try it. But man, I feel like I just wasted money on this. So wish me luck. Let's see. And what they do is they usually just cut all the lines here, which is fine. These are pretty easy to take off. These come off in a block. You don't take off individual lines, take off the whole block with all the lines in it, snap onto the new one. 2 electrical connections, and we're good to go. So I'm going to plug this thing in and see what we got. All right, so if you watched my other video that I linked, I showed the diagnosing of the locking system. So it's basically hiding up here. There's only 2 Torx down here, a couple pop rivets to pull the panel out. I still got the panel and everything here, but the PSE is just hiding up here. There's an extra connection here for the remote trunk release wiring. Got that unsnapped. Basically rip this guy out here. Alright, so I think all I'm going to do is just unplug the electrical connections first, and then I'll plug in my new one and see what it does. So, alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and unplug it right quick, plug in the new one, and as soon as you plug it in, it should make a buzz noise to immediately try to build a vacuum. Plugged in. That one isn't gonna matter, I don't think. I hear it clicking. Let me try the lock and unlock button on the key. No buzzing. Great. You hear the relay clicking inside, but it should be making a buzzing noise. Garbage pump. $200 wasted on eBay. I don't know what it is about YouTube content creators and V12 Mercedes, but we are gluttons for punishment. I have been a Mercedes-Benz tech for 20 years, most of them at the dealership. And I haven't really worked on a whole lot of these. They've been pretty foolproof, but now these cars have 20 years on them, 20 years of age. That is okay for a human, that is not okay for a car. Age is bad for a car. What I'm looking at now is there is an oil leak on this side of the engine. I know where it's coming from. I don't want to do the work. And I'm trying to find a way to get around doing it, and I don't know if there is. Let me show you a little bit about it. So if you watch, like, say, the Legit Street Cars channel, he rebuilt his CL65 AMG motor, or CL600, whichever he had. And when he had the engine torn down, there's a oil block / temperature thermostat for oil pressure on the side, on the driver's side, and it sits right behind the timing cover. The timing cover wraps around the engine for the ABC pump, and it covers this oil block. And all that's back there is a little gasket. The gasket is $10. I have the gasket. Let me show you the gasket. Well, I don't have the gasket with me. It's at home, so I'll put a picture right here of the gasket, and I'll put a picture of the oil block as seen in like eBay, and then also a picture of the timing cover so you can see the monstrosity, right? So when you look up the work information, it tells you that in order to replace the timing cover, the cylinder heads have to be removed. But in order to replace this, or to remove the cylinder heads, you have to remove the engine. In order to remove the engine, you're supposed to remove the engine and transmission together. That's a lot of undertaking for a $10 seal. So I'm thinking of a couple different ways I can do this, because this car has the ABC deleted off of it. So I really don't need the bracket, but I have to mount a power steering pump to that bracket. And I don't know how else to do it unless somebody can manufacture a bracket, CNC machine one or something. Maybe if I send you the specifications, you'll be able to do one for me and we can collaborate on this. But my thought was, if I cut the timing cover ear, right? Doesn't sound good, but that reduces a whole lot of work. And then I can get that oil block off. And then if we can manufacture some type of a metal bracket that can be mounted there, and I'll try to show pictures and video and stuff. I think that would work. Or if I can locate the screws for the plate, maybe I can drill a hole into the ears of the timing cover and then remove those screws and then sneak the plate out from behind there. So let me get underneath the car and show you what I'm talking about. All right, so you can see all the oil down here trailing down the underbody panels, right? And then it's down here in the back of the trans and everything. Okay, a lot of oil. So I'm gonna get these panels taken off and show you what's up. All right, so this oil block is hiding way up there. Okay, you can see the metal line. It's an oil tube with the Torx right there. You can see a little round plate at the back for one of the valves or solenoids. All right, so that guy, you can even see a fresh drip right off of it. It's very hard. It's very hard. It's tucked up in there. So what I had already done is last summer I had cleaned all the oil. I took out those pipes. I replaced the seals. I took off the back of that plate, and then I found an O-ring to reseal it. I cleaned it all up, put a new oil pan gasket on, resealed the lower oil pan, and I had no leaks. I had no leaks all summer. I'm like, sweet, fixed it. That was it. Didn't need the gasket. As soon as the first cold snap hit, when metal can shrink and so metal shrinks in cold and then expands in heat, which most materials do. As soon as it got super cold, the oil just everywhere. So this may be only good to drive during the summertime, but that's not good. So that's gonna have to be replaced. But to get to that thing, man, that's a lot. I'm not sure I want to do that, man. You know, work at the dealer, working on cars 8-9 hours a day, sometimes Saturdays, then to be able to go home or have to go home and do this at home or even here in the shop, it's a lot of work. If you see some of these videos where people have taken off or taken out the V12s and rebuilt them. It's a lot of work. So let me know what you think I should do, because if this engine comes out, it's getting a revamp, right? It's getting new seals everywhere. Oh, also the rear main is leaking. Let me show you that. The rear main is leaking. Usually not a big deal. I just take the trans down, right? But ideally what would have to happen is engine and transmission come out and just totally disassemble it and reseal everything on it. Because the oil pan gasket that I had done was crusty and hard, which means if that one is like that and it sits in oil all day, that means the rest of the engine is gonna be like that too. So any gasket and seal on this engine is gonna be toast. And this thing already has coilovers, so the ABC is taken care of, but the pump is left in there and the line is just routed to a tube and then back to itself, back to the reservoir. So it's just being shuffled back to the reservoir, to the pump, to the line, to the reservoir. I mean, it's a headache out of my way. However, that pump can't stay there because once it burns out, it's gonna throw the belt and I'll be stuck. So I'd like to get a power steering pump on there, or maybe a bypass pulley so I can have manual steering. I'd be fine with that. But have to reseal the trans. Other than that, the car's not in that bad of a shape. I do have a hellacious banging from the right rear. I think that strut is dead. When I got it, the nuts weren't even tight, so I had to tighten the nuts. But I checked the nuts at the top. They're secure, but over bumps, this thing is hellaciously banging. Very loud. I don't know how long this retrofit kit has been on here. So I also had taken one of the coils out to diagnose a customer's car of mine. I swapped my coil to their car and their coil to my car, just for diagnostic purposes, because a coil is $1,700 and you don't want to misdiagnose one of those. And when I had mine out, I pulled some plugs and there was a lot of oil in all the cylinders, which means the valve stem seals are junk. So this engine needs some love, man. 140,000 miles on this, 147. Not a lot, right? But it's the age. The age will get you when it sits. And if no one takes care of the oil and doesn't change it like they should, these things, 20-year-old car, you gotta be careful when you buy. So, you know what? If you got a Porsche Cayman, I'll trade you. Come get this car, all right? I don't care what condition, you know? But as far as this car, it's gonna take some love. So let me know in the comments what I should do. Let me know what you think I should do. Or maybe an LS swap. I didn't mean to say that. I said that out loud. I didn't mean to say that. But 2004 S600, whew, it's a bad boy. I love the car. It's a nice car. It's a beautiful car. It's a beautiful car. But the few things that are wrong with it, we're talking 50 to 60 hours of work. That's a lot, man. That's a whole lot for a couple $100 in parts, you know? But if I do get that all done, maybe it would last me 5-10 years. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. If it were your car, I know what I'd tell you to do. But if it were my car, I don't know what I want to do, right? So Master Tech Lou channel, hit the subscriptions, follow the adventures of this turd, and then hit the notification, right? I noticed that a lot of my viewers are new viewers, right? So if you hit the subscription and you're bored, maybe you're sitting on a pooper, you want something to watch, check me out, okay? I'll try to provide tips and tricks and share some of my experience and knowledge. This one I just wanted to kind of update on people that were wondering what happened to the car. And here it is, still got it. I keep the battery charged here and there. I run it, you know, to lunch, you know, a couple times just to keep the battery going and keep the oil flowing. But right now I'm going to clean up all the oil and see how it does here, because now it's April and it's getting kind of warm out. So if it's not leaking at the moment, I might undertake this adventure during winter time. Or if somebody's interested in the car, hit me up and maybe we can work out a deal. Come get it for me, right? But I don't know. My name's Lou. Appreciate you guys watching.